States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
United States of America.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Kairnes. I'm a contributing member of We the People of RI, and I'm not an expert of the law. I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be a lawyer, but I love the law, the common law. And I want to tell people about S 510, which has been changed to House Bill HR 2751. Now, there's a big to-do about these bills and their current form, but I don't believe that everything in this bill is as bad as people portray it to be. Either we have somebody in Congress that's actually thinking about us and knows what's going on with the GMOs, or they just totally overlooked what they were writing. Now, if you follow the bill and you go to Section 106, and in that section, if I may, the name of it is the Protection Against Intentional Alteration. That is a section that I believe will be the downfall of Monsanto and to anybody that is putting unlawful pesticides into the air via their airplanes, via through the groundwaters. If anything affects, like my friend Matthew's, his farm, I think he has a serious claim against these people. So I want people to look at that. But I do have concerns with this bill. They say follow the money. In this bill, the Secretary of Health has a $30 million purse that she gets to give to basically the school systems, so they can buy wet naps, EpiPens, or anything that the school system thinks they need for a nurse's office. I think that's potential abuse right there. Each school system would be allowed to have $50,000 per year. Let's put it that way, for wet naps. The other thing is we're actually going to start encroaching into other nations' sovereignty. Because of the food that's being sent to us, we now think we have the authority over other nations, how they're going to grow their food. That should be done on our side of the border. I don't believe other nations should have to abide by the big old mighty America. We have enough problems here. Let's just leave it at home, would we? People that transport the fruit and vegetables or meat or whatever are going to go through rigorous inspections now, and they're going to have to comply on a yearly basis. They're going to have to keep applying for new permits in order to be a carrier, in order to transport the food to storages or from storages. It's going to get more rigorous. The other thing is the whole New World Order agenda behind it, the Codex Alimentarius. It was mentioned in the bill prior to the 3rd of January. I think somebody exposed it in the media, and as far as I know, right now it's not in there anymore. So there was actual, I guess you would say, it's Section 803, Section 803 of the bill did actually mention Codex Alimentarius into it. It was, If you don't know what that is about, I would suggest Googling it. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this, but what I want to get to, though, is I've been reading this bill for a few nights here, and it's not just exactly what the bill says. You have to go back to the other bills that are attached to it as well. See, this is an amendment on other bills as well. So the rabbit hole goes really deep. And what it does is it also combines the health secretary's job with the FDA with the Homeland Security. Now they're going to actually have surveillance on farms and on food products. So what I'm getting at is this is building a giant bureaucracy, and there's actually pieces of the legislation where they say how many more new employees for each bureaucracy is allowed to have each year. I think it's upwards of 5,000. Upwards of 5,000 by the end of the 2014. I got to double check that. Like I said, I'm not an expert on this. All I know is there's a lot of reading to do. Go deep. Look at the other bills that it's connected with. Go even to where if you look at how the legislation is written, it gives the secretary the authority to make rules as she goes along. Now, she has to give it a chance for the public to speak after a year and give their opinion. But once she does make up her decision to make that rule, it becomes law without it going back to Congress. And I really have to question what's going on with bureaucracies and how much power they hold being an unelected official. These are appointed officials. They're hired. They're all friends of the people that are running the whole country. I would like to call that an oligarchy. And that's about it for now. So, okay, thanks.
I love America. Yeah, I just watched this show. I thought it was very good and informative. I love freedom of speech. My comments towards the older gentleman with the handlebar mustache that was putting down the Obama administration, saying that this country and that from what I've seen, it seems like the Busherman has messed up this country to clean up their mess as usual. To say and fight for your right for speech. Thank you.
Hi, I am a grandmother and a great-grandmother. I was born in this state. I'm very disappointed in our government. I wish they would just bring our boys home, let them fight their own battles, and bring business back here in this country and in this state. Every time you go to the store, you buy something from Vietnam or Pakistan. I think it has to stop. We need our business here, and we need our jobs here. And this is America, and I'm proud of it. My grandson just came home from Afghanistan, and I'm proud of him, and I'm glad he's home safe. Thank you.
Yeah, Jesse Perry and Kinch. Go Kinch, go Perry. Seeing you guys on TV. Live. Hey, right on. We the people of Rhode Island. I thought this state was sleeping. I was so happy. And I'm on your website, signing up on your YouTube. Yeah, this is good stuff. May I suggest you guys check out and become members in the Rhode Island Republic.org. It is part of the entire United States of America, the Republic of the United States of America. We are taking back the constitutional republic that the U.S. corporation has left dormant. Keep up the good work, and I'm going to start tuning in and checking out everything you guys put out. Awesome job. Thanks. I was talking to a friend of mine downtown today at around 3 or 4 or something. Yeah, I think 4:30. I'm 2% Native American Indian, and well, he has a small percentage of Indian blood, but he claims to be mostly European. You know, various parts European. He was getting, I don't know, he was laying some dictum on me that I thought was more, identifiable with, the, I guess, mentality or rationale of capitalism. And he was being jingoistic, and I don't know, he was kind of overselling us as being a melting pot. And if you ask me, I think we're no, I don't know, over the years we've become no more a melting pot than a tossed salad. And I could not share his jingoism. I believe that people more and more have lost the ability to truly think. At best, most Americans, can only regurgitate, and it kind of disgusts me. I should have said to him, that's exactly the kind of dictum or rationale that I've come to expect from a man of your obvious perceptual limitations. And for the record, life has not been all that good to me. This is more, we're more in an anti-life reality than life itself, or true life. And it's just been terrible to me. And it's not necessarily what one makes of it. I believe, the powers that be, the more external element, that's what makes our lives, so messed up and all. I'm just not satisfied, with what America has become, and I'm not into assimilation either. I mean, I'm only half Native American Indian, but there are a lot of things people tend to oversell, and, that I just can't get behind them on. I just can't. And, I really think we need to deport, a vast majority of the immigrants coming here. I'm sorry, but they're just taking away our country. They're stealing everything. They're uglifying our country. They're not making America any better for those already born here. Granted, they built this country, but I think it involved a lot of exploitation. I think immigrants were made slaves too, but I think we were made prisoners. We Indians were made prisoners.
Well, yeah, it's getting tough out there. Yeah, no doubt. I work in home invasions, mostly. Some murder, occasional rape, if she's hot, or really bitchy. And I'm a huge advocate of gun control, absolutely. Competition is stiff, and it doesn't help that every time I kick in a door or smash a window, that I face the possibility of being shot and killed. Listen, the fact is, allowing citizens to own guns creates a hostile work environment for me and my associates. No one should have to work under those conditions. I say make them all illegal, absolutely. Make all gun ownership illegal. I mean, I break the law for a living. I'm a professional, so it doesn't really bother me. But personally, knowing that most homeowners don't have guns, that would make me a lot more comfortable, more confident, and it would surely increase productivity. No doubt. No doubt.
Your local violent criminals work hard and put their lives on the line every time they attempt to murder, rape, abduct, or assault a member of the citizenry. They desperately need your help. With your support, there may finally come a day when a violent criminal can have his way with you or someone you love without the fear, anxiety, and stress caused by knowing there's a possibility his victim might be armed. Please show your support by voting for stronger anti-gun legislation because criminals prefer unarmed citizens.
All right, folks, we're here with Matt Thibodeau, local farmer. We were talking off camera before we started rolling, and Matt, you told me something. You made mention of people and farmers who claim that their crops are organically grown. So tell people what you know about that, being a farmer.
All right, well, I can start first with that word organic. Organic is essentially anything that is carbon-based. I'm organic, you're organic, everybody listening is organic. All trees, even genetically modified crops are, in one sense, organic. And personally, I don't really like using the word. I use the word natural. I think it hits a lot closer to home for what I'm trying to convey. But there's a big move today towards certified organic or green, whatever you want to call it. And to be certified organic, you have to go through some giant bureaucracy to get the certification. And you got to pay a whole bunch of money, so your cost goes up. It's passed on to the consumer, and I would rather not do that, so I don't. But with certified organic, there are certain things that are approved, and that could be anything really, anything that the bureaucracy wants you to use. So personally, I think it's deceiving, misleading, and there's partially organic, like it's 75% or 90% or 100%. But there are also things that aren't even
1%.
Well,
and
not
1% organic, but the other 99% is junk.
Well, there's things that don't need to be labeled, such as certain pesticides, herbicides. There's a it's a sweetener or a flavor enhancer, kind of like aspartame. It's called neotame, yes, and it's used for cattle feed. And which raises the question: why would you have to enhance the flavor of feed that you're giving animals? If it's not palatable in the first place, then you probably shouldn't be feeding it to them. Am I right?
Right, and if the product that the farmer has been selling all this time without that neotame, all of a sudden with the neotame, that food becomes more palatable for the human or for the consumer. That says that their primary product probably isn't as good as it should be.
Pretty much, yeah.
So you were saying natural. You prefer the word natural more than organic. So is it safe to say that the crops and the food that you deal with is all natural?
Yes, I don't use like Monsanto seeds or any of that. I don't use any synthetic herbicides, pesticides, anything like. What I use, if I have to use it, like this year I was very fortunate I didn't have to really use it. It's diatomaceous earth. It's all natural. It's fossilized phytoplankton. It's the sediment that they're what's what I'm looking for? Compressed down to over thousands, millions of years. It's kind of like using lime. It's a crushed up
bituminous,
rock.
Is that what you said? Bituminous?
No.
Diatomaceous earth, yes.
Diatomaceous earth, however you want to pronounce it. I use that, and it's equivalent to us eating glass, essentially. It doesn't kill them chemically, it kills them mechanically. Because when you eat glass, it tears up your insides, and it would kill you. And that's what I use, and when we eat it, it's silica, which is a precursor to calcium. And that's what builds our bones, hair, nails, so it's actually good for you. Although it's bad for the pests, and that's what we're looking for, right?
Definitely. So, what you're saying is that there are people out there claiming that they have organic foods that, like you say, originally or have a certain percentage or a certain element that is organic, but there's a lot of leeway, a lot of play in there to. Okay, if it's 1% organic, they can claim it's organic, but they don't have to tell you about the other 99%.
Kind of, yes, but that's That's for the big companies that you never get to meet the people making, growing, processing your food, all of that. My big philosophy is as local as possible. That's really my philosophy. Because if you can actually go to a farmer's market and actually talk to the person you're buying that you're buying food from that actually grows the food, then I would much rather have that than going to a supermarket. Yep. Well, but then again, even beyond that, I would much rather not be able to make a living out of my profession. It's my personal belief that we should go back to the old ways of how it was for thousands, millions of years. That man should produce as much out of himself as possible. So I really don't feel I should make a living out of my profession. Honestly, I'd like to be like blacksmith, gunsmith, something like that.
I know what you're saying. Right, you feel that it's right there. It's a God-given, as Sue was saying.
It's our God-given right.
Right. So, I mean, whether you decide that you want to profit off of that, or not, you feel that you shouldn't. In the best of times, the best of worlds, you shouldn't have to profit from a God-given element such as food.
Yeah, we should go back, say like a century ago. A supermarket was essentially unheard of. I believe the first supermarket was opened in 1901, I want to say. Let's go back 150 years, everybody had a root cellar. Nobody went to the supermarket to get their food. You might go for a specialty item that you couldn't really produce yourself or had to be imported from somewhere else, say like sugar, something like that. But most things you can produce yourself. If you smoke cigarettes, you can grow your own tobacco. If you like having a good brew, you can make your own beer. You can make your own wine. You can make your own maple syrup. You can grow your own tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini. You can make your own salsa. That's something I've gotten into. Pickles. Pickles are a great one. You can make your own vinegar. You can make any food that you see in the supermarket. You can essentially make yourself, unless of course it doesn't grow in this climate. Like I said, sugar.
Unless you're looking for foods that have genetically modified organisms in them.
Yeah.
Which you should not be doing. But yes. I like the way you think, Matt, and I think it's so common sense. And the way society goes in corporate America and politics and stuff, we're just indoctrinated, and we have all these diversions and all these distractions. And it's just go ahead, eat away. You know,
pretty much. We are a very gluttonous society. We have become. Everything's incredibly abundant. And Ayn Rand had a very interesting quote from Atlas Shrugged, I believe it was, that we go from great strife to freedom to it goes all the way through and then goes to abundance. Then it's a very interesting quote. Look it up.
Who's that by?
Ayn Rand. AYNRAND.
Look it up.
Very.
It's probably like a full circle type of thing.
Yeah, because it goes from bondage to freedom to abundance. Then it just makes a loop back again.
Yep, the circle of life and the circle of food. And I agree. Gardening, awesome. I just started getting into it myself 5 years ago.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yep.
I like to see more people doing it.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is, with the demise of society, which is probably a little bit closer than we think it is. Me and you got gardens. You have guns?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
we'll put that black line in front of your face so nobody knows.
Yeah, you're going to have to cut this entire clip. I'm just talking to everybody in this room. That's
it. But, so I got the garden. You got the garden. I know Adam Cole, the senator, he's got the guns. I know Chris Kairnes has got the guns. So I'll trade you some tomatoes. I'll bring some tomatoes over your house if I can hang out with you and your guns, when times go bad, Chris. Was that okay? Yeah.
And to add to what Sue was saying about foods that are incredibly good for you, garlic is my number one food. I absolutely love garlic. And
I can tell.
Raw garlic is the best. Yeah, you can smell it, can't you?
He's not even Italian.
No, I'm not, actually. Pretty much everything European except. But garlic, one, it's incredibly easy to grow. You get a clove, a head of it, bulb, whatever you want to call it. Then you break off a clove, put it in the ground in middle of October, cover over the leaves for the winter, then open the rows back up in the spring, and they grow up, and out of one clove, you got a full bulb. And it's incredibly good for you. And the best way to eat it is raw, because when you cook it, you break down the compounds that are incredibly good for you.
Excellent. is from the words of a farmer, from the mouth of a farmer right here, people. Pay attention. He knows what he's talking about. All right, we're going to move on, and we're going to have Chris Kairnes coming up next.
Actually, I'd like to throw one more thing out there. What do you think is the most important nutrient for anything?
The most important nutrient?
For anything.
For anything. I mean, is water a nutrient? H2O.
Yeah, kind of, but
I'll go with the chemical name, H2O.
I'll give you a hint. It's a little outside the box.
A little outside the box. Nutrients that's most important to anything.
Any living organism.
It's phosphorus.
No.
We got to make this a We the People trivia question, Brian. I give up, Matt. What is it?
It's love.
Oh, it's a good answer.
Everything is living. Everything has an energetic construct. And when you're gardening, when you're planting seeds and you're picking vegetables and the like, you can't go at it with the dominating attitude. You have to go at it with a very loving, caring, affectionate attitude, or else your plants won't do as well. They won't produce as well because they rely on you, you rely on them. So you have to give to them just as they give to you.
I think that might have been one of the most important things we've heard all night tonight. That's great. Thanks a lot, Matt. Way to go.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
This concludes this program broadcast. We the People, a freedom of speech television show. Go to www.wethepeopleofri.org.